Travelers rushed through the busy airport terminal, luggage wheels clattering, loudspeaker announcements echoing overhead. Nothing seemed unusual until a trained K9 suddenly froze mid-patrol. His ears shot up. His muscles stiffened. His handler barely had time to react before the dog sprinted across the terminal, barking with a force that made everyone stop. A woman pushing a stroller screamed, "Stop! Get away from my baby!" But the K9 ignored her. He leapt straight into the stroller, sending blankets flying, flipping a small pillow onto the ground. Something rolled out from underneath it, small, hard, metallic. The moment the object hit the floor, the K9 barked in a frantic warning signal, one reserved only for explosive danger. Security officers ran at full speed, shouting for everyone to back away. Travelers screamed. The woman collapsed in shock, because what fell out of that stroller was something no one was prepared for, and it changed everything. Before we start, make sure to hit like, share, and subscribe. And really, I'm curious, where are you watching from? Drop your country name in the comments. I love seeing how far our stories travel. The airport was buzzing with its usual morning chaos. Rolling suitcases, echoing announcements, and families rushing toward their gates. Among the crowd moved a trained K9 patrol unit, weaving calmly through the terminal. The German shepherd kept his nose low, tail steady, ears relaxed. It was supposed to be a normal sweep, nothing more. But everything changed in an instant. The K9 suddenly stopped mid-stride. His ears snapped upward, his muscles tightened like coiled springs. "Thor? What is it?" "Boy," the handler whispered, gripping the leash. Thor didn't wait. With a powerful jerk, he broke into a sprint across the terminal, ignoring every command, every shout. Travelers stumbled out of his way. A woman pushing a stroller turned just in time to see the K9 charging straight toward her. "Get away from my baby!" she screamed, pulling the stroller back in panic. But Thor didn't slow. His bark exploded through the hallway. Deep, urgent, nothing like a normal alert. People froze. A cup of coffee dropped from someone's hand. Officers whipped their heads toward the commotion. Thor lunged past the woman and shoved his head directly into the stroller, digging frantically under the blanket. "What is he doing? Stop him!" the woman cried. Then something small and metallic rolled out from beneath the baby's feet, and the world around them changed. Gasps rippled through the terminal as the metallic object spun across the floor, clinking sharply before coming to a stop. Thor didn't hesitate. He jumped fully into the stroller, paws landing beside the sleeping baby, barking with an intensity that sent a shiver through the crowd. "Get that dog off my child!" the woman screamed, her voice echoing off the glass walls. She tried to pull Thor away, but the K9 planted himself firmly, shielding the baby with his entire body. "Ma'am, step back," the handler ordered as he sprinted toward them. "If he's barking like that, something's wrong." Travelers scattered in every direction. Coffee cups dropped, luggage tipped over. Parents grabbed their children and ran. Even airport staff froze, not daring to make a single move. The object lay on the floor, small and cold-looking, with thin wires poking out. Thor lowered his snout toward the stroller again and barked twice, sharp, clipped, unmistakably urgent. The handler's face drained. "That's his highest alert signal," he whispered. "Bomb protocol." 4 security officers burst through the hallway, yelling commands, "Clear the area now! Move back! Nobody touch the stroller!" The woman fell to her knees, sobbing. "I don't understand! I don't understand! What's happening?" Thor barked again, louder, faster, forcing the officers to retreat several steps. This wasn't just an alert. This was a warning. Whatever had fallen from that stroller, was dangerous enough to make a trained K-9 risk everything. Within minutes, the once busy terminal transformed into a lockdown zone. Metal shutters began closing over nearby gates. Officers stretched bright yellow tape across walkways as panicked travelers pressed against walls, watching the scene unfold with wide, terrified eyes. The small metallic object lay in the center of the cleared space, cold, silent, and far too deliberate in its design. Thin wires curled from one side, catching the light like tiny needles. Thor didn't take his eyes off it. The handler knelt beside him, voice low and tense. "Easy, boy, easy." But Thor growled deep in his chest, refusing to move. He stood between the object and the stroller like a living barricade. Bomb squad officers rushed forward in heavy protective gear. "Everyone back another 20 feet, one shouted. The woman pushed trembling hands through her hair, crying uncontrollably. "I didn't put anything in the stroller. I swear, my baby, he's just a baby." A detective crouched beside her. "Ma'am, we believe you, but right now, we need to know who had access to that stroller today." Her lips quivered. I don't know. I was at baggage check. I turned around for 1 second. Just 1 second. Inside the safety perimeter, a technician used a long robotic arm to nudge the object. His screen flickered with odd readings, heat signatures, tiny electrical pulses. "This isn't normal," he muttered. "It's not an explosive, but it's giving off activity." "What kind of activity?" an officer asked. The technician swallowed. "Tracking, transmitting, something high-tech." Thor barked sharply, as if confirming the danger. Whatever this object was, someone didn't want it discovered. And the K-9 had just blown their entire plan apart. The terminal felt frozen in time. Officers whispered into radios, bomb technicians hovered over the strange device, and Thor remained locked in position, protective, unblinking, unmovable. Meanwhile, the woman sat on the floor beside the stroller, shaking so violently she could barely breathe. A detective knelt beside her. "Ma'am, we need to verify your identity. Please show us your ID." Her hands trembled as she handed it over. The detective's brow tightened. "This says you're not the baby's mother." She gasped, covering her mouth. I'm not. I never said I was. I'm his babysitter. The mother is out of the country. She hired me for the day. Please, I haven't done anything wrong." The detective exchanged a tense glance with the officers. "Then who gave you the stroller?" he asked quietly. She blinked, confused. "The baby's father. He met me at the curb, loaded everything into the stroller, and left in a hurry. I thought he was late for his flight." The detective straightened. "We need airport security footage, now." Within minutes, surveillance screens flickered to life. Cameras revealed a man approaching the stroller earlier, slipping something under the blanket when the babysitter wasn't looking. The device. The handler stepped closer. "Do you recognize him?" The babysitter shook her head violently. No, I've never seen him before." Another officer swallowed hard. "We ran facial recognition. That man, he's wanted for smuggling restricted military technology." The woman's face went pale. The suspect hadn't been trying to harm the baby. He had tried to use the stroller to bypass airport security. And Thor had uncovered everything. Bomb techs carefully lifted the mysterious device using robotic clamps, sliding it into a blast-proof container. As soon as the lid sealed, the lead technician exhaled. "It's not explosive," he announced, "but whatever's inside, it's transmitting." Officers exchanged uneasy looks. Thor growled again, the sound low and warning. He sensed danger even if humans didn't. The detective tapped his earpiece. "What's the scan showing?" A voice crackled through. "It's a micro-transmitter. Military grade, something used for tracking high-value assets or smuggling encrypted data." The terminal fell silent. The babysitter trembled. "Tracking? You mean someone hid that thing under the baby?" The detective nodded grimly. "They weren't targeting the airport. They were targeting whoever this child belongs to." The babysitter broke down, covering her face. "I swear, I didn't know. I just wanted to do my job." "We believe you," the officer said softly. "But the suspect used you to get past security, and Thor picked up the scent before any scanner did." At that moment, the device inside the container flashed, sending a final burst of encrypted data before dying. The technician's eyes widened. "That transmission, someone on the outside just received it." The detective turned to his team. "Lock down every exit. The suspect might come back to retrieve what he planted." Thor barked sharply, lunging toward the corridor. Because he knew something the officers didn't. The real danger wasn't in the stroller anymore. It was already moving through the airport. Thor yanked hard on his leash, pulling his handler toward the far end of the terminal. Officers sprinted behind them as the dog's bark echoed through the bright corridors, sharp, urgent, unmistakably locked onto a target. "Follow him," the detective shouted. "He's tracking." Travelers pressed against walls as Thor charged past gate after gate. Suddenly, he skidded to a halt near a row of seats, staring at a man hunched over, pretending to tie his shoe. The moment the suspect looked up, his eyes met Thor's, and he bolted. "Stop!" officers roared. The chase exploded through the terminal. The suspect shoved through the crowd, knocking over luggage, but Thor was faster. He leapt, grabbing the man's sleeve and dragging him to the ground as officers swarmed and cuffed him. When they searched his backpack, every officer froze. Inside was a second device, identical to the one from the stroller. The detective exhaled shakily. He was coming back to retrieve the first one. The baby was just a cover. The babysitter sobbed with relief as officers reunited her with the child. "Thank God for that dog," she whispered. Thor sat proudly beside the stroller, tail wagging softly. By the next morning, airport security held a special ceremony, awarding Thor a medal for preventing a disaster no one saw coming.